have you ever wanted to make a counter? Well, today we're going to do an example where we count the number of flashes from a flashlight on the front of the microbit. So we're going to count a variable called flashes, and we're going to set a threshold for the flash light so that we can detect it. And we're going to go over and under the threshold and count how many flashes before a timeout. So let's start with when started and display the character 0 when we first boot up the program, just to know we haven't started anything. And then forever, we're going to check the flash count and display the number of flashes. But in order to check the flash count, we're going to use a new type of MicroBlock called a reporter block. And we're going to call this flash count. And what this is going to do is it's going to return a variable that tells us how many flashes were exceeded on the light display. So on this one, we're going to set the threshold of the light to something like the light level plus some number. So we're going to do light level plus maybe 100. So let's set it to light level plus 100. And then that's our threshold. Then we want to wait until that threshold is exceeded. So by exceeded, we have to look for it to be greater than. So we're going to wait until that light level, duplicate this one, is more than the threshold. So we got to go fetch our threshold. And when it is, we want to set the flashlight count, or the flashes count, to 1. So we know we got 1 flash, and then forever we're going to check for more flashes until a timeout of about 1 second. And then we're going to just keep logging them. So now we checked a flash. Now the next thing we want to do is wait until the light level is back below the threshold. So we're going to need a less than. And we're going to do another if. No. We're going to do a wait until the light level is less than the threshold. So here we're going to copy light level is less than threshold. And when it is back to less than threshold, we're going to use this fancy little timer. Reset the timer and repeat until the light level is greater again. So let's just keep counting. Repeat until this condition is true. We're going to duplicate this condition. Repeat until the light level is greater than threshold and check if the timer has exceeded 1 second, which is 1,000 milliseconds. So we need another one of these greater thans. So we reset the timer, and then we're going to check the time of the timer and see if it exceeds 1 second. If it does, we're going to return the number of flashes. So we need our return. Return the variable flashes. If we don't time out, then we're going to change the variable flashes by 1 because we just got another flash. Now what are we going to do with this flash count is we're going to set the variable flashes to the flash count. All right. And then we could do whatever we want, like if flashes is 1, we'll do one thing. If flashes is another, we'll do another thing. So what should we do if flashes equals 1? Is we will do a heart. If flashes equals 1, we will display a heart. Let's see, make a heart. Otherwise, if flashes is less than or equal to 9, then we're going to show the number of flashes. And we'll just display the character flashes. Copy this. Otherwise, we'll just display a character plus, like it's more than 9. And then, just to check our program, let's also say here that variable flashes. Now if we run, I'm going to start flashing with the flashlight. What happens if we do it once? We get a heart. What happens if we do it twice? We get 2. We can do as many times as we want. And all the way past 9. And if you want to add a tone for the number of flashes, you can do that too. Pretty fun.